The Tony Farina Report on the Big Picture is sponsored by Batavia Downs Gaming and Hotel off the New York State Thruway at exit 48. Find out more at BataviaDownsGaming.com.
Welcome back to The Big Picture. As one of Western New York's top defense attorneys, Paul Cambria has tried controversial cases for decades, with verdicts garnering national attention. Our Tony Farina caught up with him at his downtown firm.
We're here with legendary Buffalo criminal defense lawyer and civil attorney as well, Paul Cambria, who I began covering some 50 years ago when I was with the Courier Express. And Paul had the beginning of what's become a career that many people would find incredible. You've done it all, Paul. You've won some of the biggest cases. You've represented some of the most famous clients, including, and not the least of which, Larry Flynt. And how did your relationship with Larry Flynt begin? And boy, it was quite a relationship.
My secretary contacted me and said, there's a guy on the phone named Larry Flynt, and he'd like to talk to you guys. And I said, okay, put him on. And he came on and he said that he had just started this magazine called Hustler. And I said, well, I've never heard of it. He said, well, there's like 3 issues out. And I want to interview you guys about your victory in Kansas. And he said, well, I'm charged currently with 2 charges in Cincinnati, Ohio, bribing a police chief and firing a gun in public. And you guys do that work? I said, we do everything, right? And so we talked a little bit more, and he decided to hire us to go down there to defend him. Well, when we went down there to defend him, they charged him while we were there with distributing obscenity, namely Hustler magazine. So we eventually tried that case. And Larry initially was convicted, but then on appeal, we had the statute thrown out as unconstitutional, and the charges were dismissed. But in the meantime, the idea that simply publishing a magazine could get you 25 years in prison rocketed across the country as an outrageous, violation of the First Amendment. And that's what made Larry famous.
Now, you came from a small town in Western New York.
Fredonia.
You went to Fredonia State?
Fredonia High School and Fredonia State, yeah. Undergrad school at Fredonia State.
And I know from my own relationship with you that in past discussions we've had, you watched Perry Mason.
Well,
and that was, of course, the top show in the country.
Well, we had no choice. As you recall, back in those days, there weren't any remotes for televisions or whatever.
No.
And my father decided what we were watching. He would turn the channels or whatever, and he liked to watch Perry Mason. So as a very young boy, I watched that show.
Great show.
And I'm like, gee, this looks like fun. And so that's how I started.
That's really how you started, isn't it?
That's how I got an interest in being a trial lawyer.
I wonder, there's a lot of lawyers that probably did the same thing.
I agree with that. I think that's true.
It's still a good show.
I still watch it.
Yes, me too. And certainly Raymond Burr.
It's actually on your station.
WBBZ.
Right.
And certainly Raymond Burr did a great job.
Well, he was amazing.
Raymond Burr, of course, had been a pretty good B actor before Perry Mason, so he had his chops.
Yeah.
And
there's no doubt. He was a great actor.
Yeah, it was a great show, and still is. Now, Paul, you over the years, you defended a lot of celebrity clients.
Yeah.
How about name a couple others that you come to mind?
Well, I represented Marilyn Manson. I represented a number of celebrity sports figures over the years. Represented judges, lawyers, politicians, you name it.
You were good friends with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold,
for a time.
yeah.
When you had an office in California.
Still do.
And you used to ride motorbikes with him,
Motorcycles, yeah.
What was that like? What's Artie like?
Well, he's great. He was a lot of fun, very entertaining, very personable. What I really liked about him is that he was very good to his fans. If somebody came up to him at a restaurant or whatever, He didn't say, oh, I'm trying to have my lunch, which a lot of these people do. He would say, oh, hi, who are you? Where are you from? Why are you here? Sit down, talk to him, and so on. I mean, the guy was fantastic.
Yeah.
And we spent almost 10 years riding motorcycles on Sundays. There were like 9 of us that would run every Sunday.
Any other actors in that group?
Well, he would invite people from time to time. So if he was doing a movie, let's say when he did True Lies, he invited Tom Arnold. One day he showed up with Jim Cameron, Jim Cameron was the guy who did Titanic and so on. And it was funny, when I met Jim Cameron, we all rode up. He had the Terminator motorcycle, the big black fat boy, and we all drove up to have breakfast. And we sat down. Jim was across from me, and he had just started doing the Titanic movie. He was talking about it, filming it. They were in water up to their waist and all this. And he said to me, first thing he said, now where are you from? I said, Buffalo. He said, is Irv Weinstein still on television? And I go, how do you know Irv Weinstein? He says, I'm from Niagara Falls, Ontario. He said, I grew up watching Irv Weinstein.
Your base is still here in Buffalo, even though you travel.
100%.
And you do a little race car driving.
I do a lot of race car driving. We're drag racers.
Now, so people are going to be able to see you this summer here at Lancaster?
Yeah, well, locally, of course, we go to Lancaster on Fridays, and then we go to Leicester, New York, which is by Batavia. There's a place there called Empire Dragway, which is absolutely beautiful. They just remodeled the whole thing. You must have spent millions of dollars on this place. And so we race Lancaster every Friday and Empire every Saturday when we're not racing the circuit.
Even though you've been practicing law for at least 25 years, you're not afraid to get behind the wheel of a...
Oh, no. No, my one car, if you can think about this, in 8.4 seconds, it goes 160 miles an hour in a quarter mile.
Oh, and another thing I want to touch on with you, because I know we share this, we both love dogs.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
I've had dogs my whole life. I know you're a dog lover, too.
Yeah, I love them.
There's something about a dog that touches us all, I think. And you see some of the cruelty that goes on today.
It's terrible. I do not take those cases. If somebody is charged with abusing animals, children, or elderly people...
You don't take them?
I don't take them. I don't care who they are, how much money they have, or whatever. I don't want to defend them, can't defend them, and wouldn't defend them.
I admire you for that.
It's horrible.
Well, Paul Cambria, thank you very much for this interview.
My pleasure.
I wish you continued success on what's been an outstanding career, legal career. You're certainly one of the top lawyers in the country. And
not done yet. Not done yet, that's for sure.
And I hope I'm around to see you with your head on the table.
That's right. You could come in here, take a picture, run it, and I'll be happy. I may be dead, but I'll be happy that I died with my boots on and my head on a winning decision.
I hate to say it, but you and I go back about 50 years. So,
yeah, I was surprised to hear that myself, but, what are you going to do?
So, Paul.
All right.
Always good to see you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Thank you, Tony, for that report. That's it for this special edition of The Big Picture, Western New York's only topical television talk show. I'm Judge Penny Wolfgang. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.